Okay, this is now tarot lesson number 21, and I have 5 things to mention. The first is whoever you are, you have your own audience. So if you're reading for other people, or you're just beginning, or you've been doing this for a while, I think it's important to remember that and to understand that you have your own audience, that you're going to find that not everybody responds well to what you say when it comes to tarot readings. So you may have a neighbor that you get along well with, and you maybe want to give them a tarot reading or something like that, but they don't like it or they're not into it. And that's kind of normal, because you can't please all the people all the time. And so if this means that, or one of the things it means is, if you do a reading for somebody and you turn a card and you've only got one thing to say about that card, that's okay, because some people only want one piece of information. They don't want a lot of detail, or they don't want a lot of suggestions. They want a simple, straightforward answer. And it may be that at this point you turn a card and you've got 1 or 2 things to say about the card, and you may think you ought to be able to say 20 things, and maybe one of these days you will, but it really doesn't matter, because you have your audience and you've got the person you're talking to at that time. So it doesn't matter how much you know. It's more, what can you say that's valuable and useful to the questioner? And it's not the quantity of information that you give them that's important, it's the quality. Because you can give somebody, huge amount of philosophical information and they don't get any of it, so it's kind of a waste of time. Whereas you want to be able to give, or it's better, I think, if we can give people something that's useful and valuable for them. I wrote down, when I was making notes, I wrote down the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, because some people in the early days liked the Beatles and didn't like the Rolling Stones, whereas other people loved the Rolling Stones but hated the Beatles. So that's like your audience. Who's your audience? Maybe you're the Beatles, or maybe you're the Rolling Stones, but you probably can't have both. So deal with the people that you're dealing with. I can't remember what the second point was. Oh yeah, Christopher Hitchens is a journalist, or was a journalist, and so somebody asked, how do you learn tarot cards, or how do you learn meanings? So Christopher, I was watching him doing a talk some time ago, and he said at one point, take the great risk of thinking for yourself. And he mentioned this in passing as in the talk that he was giving. And my attention was grabbed by the use of the word risk, right? Because the Fool is taking a risk, maybe, because he may be about to step off a cliff. So it can be, so it give me a bit more information, that something I might say with the Fool card. So if the Fool is upside down, maybe it occurs to me to say to the person, are you sure you're thinking of doing what you want to do, or are you doing what everybody tells you to do? Because I won't tell them that, but I'm telling you, Christopher Hitchens said, take the great risk of thinking for yourself. So maybe there's an element of, with the Fool, it's a good idea to think for yourself and not just go along with the crowd, or go along with what fashion dictates that you should or shouldn't do. Whereas with the Fool reversed, maybe you stop your plan and think, okay, this is what I'm going to do, but what I really want to do, what's my personal preference to do? If I'm thinking for myself, what am I going to do? And so I think over time you listen to what comes your way, and when you notice something that relates to a card, then make a note of it somewhere, and know that you've added to the total amount of tarot knowledge that you have. And the thing is, it's your knowledge. You've figured it out, or you've made the connection, so you're going to remember it. Whereas if you read what somebody else has said, or listen to what somebody else has said, without making it your own, it can be hard to remember it. So that's the Fool. Point number 3 was this. The tarot book, the ebook that I put together on Amazon, has now become a paperback. And that's it. This is it. I got it yesterday. And there's a lot of words in here. So it's a tarot book so you can figure out answers. But it's not so you can figure out answers. It's, if I can cover this, it's so you can. It was deliberate that I broke the line there, because people are always telling you what you can't do. And they're saying, well, you can't do that. Or maybe you think to yourself, I'd like to do it, but I can't. So rather than, I think with the tarot, you end up being able, right? So you can. And then figure out answers, because it's not so much learning meanings and trying to apply a meaning to an answer, to a question. You need to figure things out. And so the example with Christopher Hitchens, with that, the Fool is in here somewhere, this idea of thinking for yourself. Maybe you think about, how does the idea of thinking for yourself fit in with the answer to the question that was asked? So maybe, am I going to get a promotion? And the Fool is reversed. So maybe the answer is yes, you're going to get the promotion, but you're going to have to obey. You're going to have to follow orders. And if you want to go and find yourself in a situation where you get to make decisions and get to solve problems using your own methods or using your own ideas, it's not going to work. You're not going to get it. You're not going to find yourself with the Fool reversed in a situation where you can't, where you can do what you choose. Then I want you I've been doing this Roman numeral thing. There's 15, an X and a V. And so I'll just make one point about this, and then I'll move on, just in case you're getting bored with Roman numerals. So I mentioned in the last time, I think it was, that an X might be that over that, where you've got the idea of receiving as well as distributing and passing on. But XV is obviously the devil, right, which I've got here on top, right, the devil, 15. So maybe the problem with the devil is, because it's an X and a V, can't find my pen, because it's an X and a V, you understand the importance of receiving and giving, but the emphasis is on receiving, because the V is much bigger than the X. And maybe that's the problem with the devil: selfishness, or being unbalanced, or trying to control and hold on to what you've got rather than also letting go. Because there's things like, when people want things, there's something to be said for creating space in your life for the new thing to take its place. I heard this story ages ago about there was a woman, and she wanted new curtains, and she didn't know how she was going to get new curtains, and the fellow said to her, take down the curtains that you've got and throw them away or give them away. And you'll find that because now you're living with a window with no curtains, you're going to automatically want and have put energy into new curtains. So the woman did it, and a couple of days later she got new curtains, because she had created space for the new desired thing to enter. So if you want a new friend or a new romantic relationship, clear space if you're still thinking about the one that who dumped you or who ditched you or who threw you over, and you're still living with that person in your mind and you're resentful about the fact that they dumped you, then there's no room for a new person to come in. So maybe that's the problem with the devil card, that you're not balanced, or you're too much in one direction. Whereas number 20, you can see where this is going, right? 20, XX, it's balanced because you've got an X and another X. So you understand the need to receive and give. But it's not like that you're trying to upset the harmony that's there in the particular card. And also the fact we've got, if we look above here, we've got the angel is blowing the trumpet. So it's as if you're hearing from on high, or you're hearing from inspirational voices or inspirational people, or ideas that get you excited or motivated to go and achieve great things, or to go and do bigger things than you would normally think you could do. So, and I wanted to talk a little bit about a 3-card spread, because try this for yourself, where you shuffle for a bit and you do a past, present, and future spread. And so you pick one card for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. Oh, that fell out, so we'll put that back. So the past can be 10 minutes ago, because it's no longer the present. Or it can be yesterday or last week or last year, or when you were, maybe it's some other lifetime. You could do that as an exercise and say, this is your last life, this is your current life, and this is your next life. Just to see what kind of story you might tell. So let's do something ridiculous. This is your last life. In your last life, you were a worker, and you worked hard, and you developed certain skills, and you were on your own, but you had work that had to be done. It reminds me a little bit of a song by Al Stewart. I can't remember. It came to and there's he sings, and David has buried himself in his work, and the time on my hands it hangs heavy. It has to do with a relationship that broke up. But the fact that David buried himself in his work, and so the partner, the time hangs heavy for her. So you could see what you get from that. And we've got the idea of hard work. And maybe what's important for this is you bring the idea of the value of working hard into your current lifetime, or something like that. And the present life, it's judgment. So you're going to take what you got here and do something big with it, or take it to the next level, we might say. So you're building on habits and ideas that you have thoroughly developed and understood and worked with and tried and tested and made sure that they're valuable and that they work. And now you're reaping the benefit. So forget about other lifetimes. Maybe this is you a year ago, and that's you now. So it means you can trust your past, and you can trust, because this is a good card and it's upright. You can trust that what you worked at with the 8 of coins and the conclusions you came to, they were correct, they were good, and you've got a solid foundation that you can build on. Because we've got the eight of Pentacles here and Judgment here. And what's going to come next? The Chariot. Wow, good story. So you're going to be able to take what you do here and go places with it. If we take the Chariot as the charioteer, the driver. So back then, you worked hard and you figured out a plan, or you figured out ideas, and you figured out the different methods you were going to use. Now you are responding to a higher call, or if you've been Because in a way, the people in the coffin can be like this person who doesn't have much freedom of movement. He's got to focus on what he's doing. But now you can emerge into a freer environment, secure in the knowledge that you've got a good foundation, and that is going to enable you to go places. So you might want to try a past, present, and future. So the past can be, as I say, 10 minutes ago, it can be yesterday or last week, and this is this week, and that's next week, and see what kind of story you put together for the different time periods. So that was number 21, and finishing up, so a quick shuffle, and then it puts a full stop at the end of the sentence, ready for the next time. So that's that, and then I fold this up. Okay, so today is Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I can't remember when I'm back. Saturday, Sunday, Monday or Tuesday? Monday. I get mixed up with simple arithmetic, you can tell. So whenever you know what 3 days from now is, so I'll be back then. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, good weekend. Okay, bye-bye.